Hey guys and girls, and welcome back to Greatest Good Tarot. Hope you're doing well and keeping out of mischief. First off, thank you so much for everybody who has been suggesting future readings and things like that in the comments down below and upvoting on them and stuff like that. Brilliant. Exquisite. Keep them coming. Very, very nice indeed. I love that. Because we discussed it on a previous video recently, and we've got new subscribers and stuff like that. So it's always... I really should just do a video of how this channel works, because we've got infrastructure and we've got things and we do stuff and malarkey and it must be very confusing when people just walk in and suddenly there's all this shenanigans going on, if you get what I'm saying. Anyway, the point is that we put the comments down below for future readings, suggestions, that kind of stuff. People can upvote them if you see one that you like to see yourself. And then I look at the ones that have been upvoted the most, and that is what I do. And that is nice. Occasionally, and this is the little caveat, the little asterisk and stuff like that, occasionally a certain question, it feels, because of the unique way that we're currently running the United Kingdom, occasionally that goes behind the paywall on Patreon because of the language maybe, or certain subjects that are covered that are a bit kind of probably not best, covering our own skin, our own bacon, covering protecting our community that we have here, the Greatest Good Village, instead of being open on the public domain as in on YouTube. Okay, so that's the main reason why we have the paywall over on Patreon. It's a separate system, it's a separate place, and it's a separate thing. Right, so dear. See why I don't explain it every video now? We're already half an hour into this. We just finished explaining the basics. Anyway, so I hope you're having fun and all that kind of stuff. The eagle-eyed viewers amongst you may have noticed that I'm trying to get ahead of the game a little bit. And this is one of the reasons why it's so important for me at the moment to try and bank, if you get me. I said bank with a B, cheeky, as many videos as possible ahead of the game, so that when we know when the funeral is and stuff like that coming up, you won't be left high and dry while I have to deal with that sort of stuff. All right, so that's the theory behind the madness right now. And already I'm trying to get ahead of the game, scheduling videos into the future as well. So just so you know, that is what's happening. And at some point we will get back in sync again. Not in sync. That's Timberlake with a really weird perm. In sync. I feel like I have to explain everything around here. Anyway, so welcome. So this lovely reading suggestion came in from Janine. She insists that I call her that every time. She doesn't, but yeah, Janine, as if she's like from EastEnders. Like Janine, it's lovely. She hates it. So. I'm suddenly realizing why people don't suggest future readings. It's slowly dawning on me. Anyway, so this one came in from Janine, who said, "Hi, GG, could you please do a reading with those beautiful tarot cards about Starmer?" I mean, I'm entertaining myself. Screw you guys. I'm having loads of fun. Janine. And the idea of having a Muslim Tzar. Is this really to replace our constitutional king? Thank you, Gigi. With 3 upvotes as well. Very, very nice indeed. Now, first off, let's get the basics out of the way. Because I do know from reviewing what's come in, someone else has questioned about Charlie Boy. I would recommend you go back, because over kind of Fesmas New Year, we did yearly predictions. And one was Will's, the other ones was Charlie Boy. Those two combined, you'll know what's happening at the moment. So that I don't think is connected with this question. It doesn't feel like it. Doesn't feel like any. So whomever is saying anything involving that, I would take that with a truckload of salt. Not just a pinch, a truckload. Go back to those two. I think that really would explain what's really going on right now exquisitely. However, this Muslim Tzar that just kind of plopped out and then disappeared again because everything else in the world was going on. If you blinked, you missed it, didn't you? So let's have a look about this Starmer and the idea of having a Muslim Tzar for the greatest good for all concerned. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Always be appreciative, yes. Because, and maybe I'm ignorant on this, well, on this particular thing, and probably many other things, but I mean, because surely in my humble opinion, the one that really should, if in the religious type teachings, that should have a Tsar right now is surely the Jewish community, because they're being persecuted most at the moment. You know what I mean? Not that it's a race to the bottom or anything like that, but just evidence at the moment. And the fact that they're like the only ones that are needing to supply their own security. Yes, they're getting like 10 million from the government. The fact they're even getting money from the government to kind of do their own security around their schools and their what is it? Is it a temple? No, it's not a temple, is it? Is it a temple? I can't remember now. My mind has gone blah. But yeah, that's ridiculous. What a horrible place, way to live. That you're in that amount of fear, and the government is acknowledging this fear because obviously they're giving the money away. So surely, do you see what I'm saying? It's just like, surely that would be the first ones to, if a Tsar was necessary, to kind of like, what else can we do for you lads? Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me down in the comments below. I could be wrong. But if they're giving the money, they're acknowledging the problem. Anyway, where was I? Anyway, yes, Starmer. Walking people. Breakfast Club. He hasn't mentioned a Breakfast Club for a while. Very disappointed. As the universal distraction for every other crap thing he's been doing. It's still... but he did get booed. Oh, did you see that? He got booed walking into Westminster yesterday or the day before or whatever it was. Found that fascinating. And he's got this Cheshire Cat grin on it as if he's happy about it. It's just like, what are you on, man? What? Anyway, I feel like I'm distracted. Let's bring back. Right. So Labour, Starmer, and this Muslim Tzar. For the greatest good for all concerned. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Always be appreciative. Right. Two more. Okay. One. We're never going higher than two, are we? Two. Now, I was going to do a third one there because I was excited, but no, not today. Not today. One day we can count to three. Woo, but not today. Right, so here we go. Control. The strength card. Four of Cups. The Four of Cups has come across as kind of a bit hippie, shall we say, in a bit of a kind of this is good stuff, man. That kind of like tripping their nips off something, kind of like completely out of it, kind of crazy. So they're controlling a situation or trying to control the situation based on like hippie kind of kumbaya agenda kind of. This feels like proper kind of good stuff, man. That kind of thing. Yeah, they're probably sniffing their socks a little bit too much. That kind of energy. They're like tripping. Justice. Oh, looking directly at this control freakness, which is nothing new, let's be honest, with Labour and Starmer, tripping their nips off. Justice, truth, honesty, balancing out, cause and effect, that kind of thing. I don't think this is going to go very far because as soon as you label one, you've got to label them all, if you get me. No religious type teaching can I get it though, like Judeo-Christian? No wonder everyone's just saying a Christian country these days. But yeah, yeah. But as soon as you kind of like have special treatment for one, you need to have it all. It's that kind of equality thing that's coming from that. Page of Swords. They're not happy. I know this is the buzzword of the century right now, but this is like judicial review, kind of illegal, something or other in that respect. And so they've got a Page of Swords come up with another way of doing it. This feels like a timeline. This doesn't feel like two groups right now. This just feels like a timeline. I think we're about there on this timeline. This is weird because this is normally a snapshot of now. In the next, and when I say now, energetically, it's like 2 weeks or so. But it feels like we're about there on the timeline. There's some more Knight of Swords rushing in. Truth, knowledge, wisdom, clarity, information, data, evidence, that kind of stuff. So they're tripping their nips off on this kind of ideological kind of thingy-bob. But over here, slapped down with the Knight of Swords. Four of Wands, happy home, 11/11, celebration. It's amazing that this is one of the... I'm just trying to think now. But this is definitely one of the few times where this ideology, if you look at what's surrounding them, truth, 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 knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. It's kind of squeezing them into kind of this corner over here. Four of Wands feels more about, oh, thank goodness that ain't happening. But isn't it interesting just to reflect on the institutions, the state, because they're all one. I said this before, but, you know, even though they've got different logos and different kind of taglines and all that kind of thing, they're all one thing. They're one beast. Okay? So it's a culture within the beast. It's not, as they would like you to think, these siloed, separate entities. So isn't it fascinating that we've got the Islamophobia kind of law thing constantly trying to be pushed through multiple different ways, including the CPS. You've got so many different shenanigans all pushing for the same thing. But this is celebration of the community wider. This feels like a vast majority of the country is like, oh, thank God for that. Chariot, determination, doubling down over here. Okay. This is preparing. This has got the energy already of won the battle, not the war yet. Hangman, tied them up in knots. Beyond card. Ooh. The Beyond card is one of the 4 extra cards in this deck, which we refer to as the Epic Arcana. Okay, we've got the Minor Arcana, the Major Arcana, and the Epic Arcana. This one basically means your soul, your third eye, higher self, higher being are all in alignment. And so when I was literally doing, doubling down, the war thing, purposeful. Quite literally doing God's work, as it were. They're in the zone. Whoever this is, doubling down with the determination of the Chariot, to keep on going, that they're in the zone. Tying the government, Starmer, up into more knots, more backpedaling, more kind of, all sorts of maneuvers to try and get their way. This has got like the Chagos Islands all over it yet again. All over it. Just kind of this kind of toing and froing and backflips and all sorts of shenanigans. Yeah. And then we've got the Two of Cups coming to a conclusion, sitting down to talk about it. This is weird. This is weird because we keep doing this. And I'll, like, for the new boys and girls, because this, maybe I'm wrong on this again. Comment down below if I am. But have you noticed the main reason why we're in this kerfuffle is that progressives, okay, because left and right doesn't exist, hasn't existed for 20, 30 years now. We've either got progressives, okay, who like what we've got right now, doubling down, want more of it, okay? They're like the Ed Davies, the Stuttery Starmers, half of the Tories, basically, like, they smear themselves in net zero, they love it, right? And they want more of it. They're all part of the like WEF and the EU and the UN and their international law and all that kind of shit. They want more and more and more and more. That is their religion. And then there's the rest of us. And then this line goes much, much further than just purely left and right, but it goes all the way for at least a couple of good couple of yards, on this, in this scale here. And then it's anarchy. No law, no kind of shenanigans, everyone out for themselves, that kind of thing, right the other end. I'm about there. Small government, small business, small this, small that, localized authorities, all that kind of thing. How things used to be before Blair, let's be honest. So that's, yeah. So it's before, like, as little as possible. And I was having this conversation with indoors, because obviously they're talking about taxation on petrol and oil and all that kind of stuff recently. And I was like, I just really do not understand the overall mentality of people right now. Maybe we've been almost groomed into it, maybe, where when anything goes wrong, instantly the government has to do something. It's like, no, take responsibility, do it yourself. Do it yourself. Don't keep going back to daddy, going, I want to sort this out. That's how they've got this mission creep, yeah? That's how it's been kind of constantly on all their kind of quangos and everything else. This is the mission creep. But it's one of those situations where if you want true control, freedoms, liberties, rights, which we all seem to used to have, then the government needs to be smaller, which means that the taxes would be less. Okay? It's not a jobs program. I want to know when the government turned into a jobs program. I want a time. I want a date. I don't know when that happened, but I don't like it. So, but this is their mentality now. Okay, so we now have explained they're progressives, hardliners, that kind of thing. Their recent thing is they set out their stall knowing that, like, their reach, and they think it's a negotiation. Okay, we're seeing it with juries, we're seeing it with everything. They set out their hardline scenario. This is what we want. And then we're in this negotiation thing. And instead of going, no, stop, it's, well, okay, maybe, 3 years is a bit too much. Maybe, like, it started off at 5 years for juries, didn't it? Anything under 5 years imprisonment, don't need a jury trial. Oh, all right, then we'll do it on anything under 3 years. That kind of thing. Even when ain't going to solve anything, and there's alleged backlog and all that kind of stuff, a lot of the courts are still empty and not being used at their full amount type thing. But this is what I'm getting down here, the negotiation. Overarching energy, Knight of Cups. Oh, but we're the nice guys. we're the nice guys. Yeah, we're doing this for the right reasons. Oh, it's such a nice thing to do. Yeah, Knight of Cups. Heart on sleeve. Aren't we great? Page of Cups. All these cups. It feels like there's loads of cups. No, there was all swords, wasn't it? Okay. Oh, 2 of cups down there. Right. Page of Cups. Flirting with ideas. This is negotiations. Yeah, okay. Okay, we're not ready to go to the extreme that we want it to be, but we'll get halfway with negotiations, and then later on we'll revisit it to get it where we want it to be. Yeah? That's where it's never ending, isn't it? It's always going back to shenanigans. It's like when, like the main one for me, back in the day, and I'm going back in time, doobly-doo, was the when they put limits on pints and alcohol and stuff like that, way back, I know, right? So, but I remember even then, because I was like a young whippersnapper, I knew, like, it was very simple, because it was all on the news everywhere. It was like, 1 pint is a unit. Small glass of red wine is a unit. That, you know, and it basically, so you could kind of easily, in the real world, go, okay, I'm going to have 1 pint with my lunch and I can still, you know, drive and it'll be fine and all that kind of thing, you know, being responsible people. And then all of a sudden it's got to a point where a certain point of thing and doobly-doo, and you need to have a blood test to then, like, find out whether or not, it's like, what happened to the nice, easy kind of, like, 1 pint or even half a pint? I'm not saying go back to the pint. I'm just saying it's like, as soon as you put a unit in, the negotiations kind of push and push and push and push. Because this is what these people do. Control freaks. They all are. Compensating for something. Anyway, so let's do the energy level. The energy surrounding this situation here. There's a huge... this fight here is amazing, though. For the new boys and girls, there's always a foundation of the reading, which is normally about 2 weeks, and then we could do the foundation, or the gossip energy surrounding this situation, and there's always an outcome at the end. So, doop-a-doop-a-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. But I'm just getting bored of it, to be honest with you. I'm just very, very bored of this whole negotiation thing. It's never stop. Notice this. This feels like it's going to be very relevant in the next couple of weeks. It's never stop, sit down, shut up, lads. It's, okay, maybe we're a bit, okay, well, how about here? How about, like, let's move the goalpost slightly. How about here? Watch out for it. It feels like that's very relevant very soon. Again. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. Has anyone else noticed that the Lammy is still trying to do the jury trial thing again? Right? I don't think he's going to hit his deadline. I'm not like, what is it? He needs to do it by the end of March, before the very coincidental and in, like, completely random in every which way Ukrainian lads who burnt down, like, Starmer's things, with, like, in no connection apart from that. Even though they all had their profiles and you know, and stuff. But it's coincidental. Completely coincidental. That's coming up in the beginning of April, isn't it? Tick tock, tick tock. I think the next one, if they don't get it through in end of March, that could easily be delayed. Just wait for it. Just wait. Anything not to have a jury to listen to what's been going on there. Let's be honest. Strength card. Here we go. Big news. Yes, it is big news. Having this Zar, having this thing. Yes, this is what we're going to... Oh, it's going to be great. We're going to control through a different way and every which way, because this is what we want. We never take no for an answer. 4 of Cups. Foreign occupation. if you can't talk about it, if you can't be, remember, this is coming from people who constantly keep telling us, so then it must be true, that they're full of honesty and integrity and all the other buzzwords. Yeah. But if you shut down conversation, if you shut down words, if you shut down language, then how can you talk about the things that have been going on? Yeah. Similar to the certain type of gang inquiry that is eventually possibly they may have got their website up and running now, and their email addresses are sorted. I don't know what they're doing in the last couple of months, but there we go. Issuing laptops to people. But that's been maneuvered away from what it's supposed to be as well. And there's a consistency here. Justice. The greater good. The greater good. Exactly. 3 times, remember? So for us, in some respects, the greater good. Slap down. Page of Swords. Mainstream news. More information. This feels like people finally looking through the data that they're trying to delete. Because it's all part and parcel of this, isn't it? If you remove and delete the data, then how do you know about these sorts of things? At the same time, you've got Maggie Oliver, who's taken her little charity has taken the government to court for a judicial review and all that shebang. So you've got research happening over here. You've got the actual justice system like doing good work. You've got the Knight of Swords down here, actually exposing the true extent of the health issue here within the communities and stuff like that. So they're thinking it's a big old thing, but not talking about stuff. Big news. This is what their agenda is. Tripping their nips off, remember. As if we have no eyes to see, no ears to hear, no experiences to be had. Health problem, major health problem of the whole shebang. 4 of Wands. The 4 of Wands, through this reading, I've been sensing it's kind of almost 6 of Cups energy. Kind of like snap back, revert to kind of how like British ways of doing things before, blah, blah, blah. Unclear how this is going back to green and pleasant lands kind of thing. Stopped, but unclear how it sorts itself out. Chariot. Planned outcome. Exactly. So for the greater good here, for the justice card and reviews and stuff, we've got the mainstream news finally reporting on things. Isn't that great? Anytime, lads, anytime. Planned outcome. This is their agenda over here. Beautiful. Getting somewhere. Same over here. Exposing the crippling situation within certain industries and areas and stuff like that. With the health matter, it's a serious problem to be dealt with, not to shut it down, not to quiet it, but in fact, look into it. Hangman, tied up in knots. The winds of change. Exactly. You can't say one thing. If you get what I'm saying, this is what, like, the health matter, the seriousness of the actual situation by this. It feels like several experts and maybe from one institution, like a trusted institution. But either way, it feels like a handful of actual people flapping their faces about the true state of affairs going on, which ties the government in knots, which then winds of change. Okay? But how we're getting back to green and pleasant lands, unsure. Okay? We've gone so far off. We need to how do we negotiate? It's almost like getting back in the day a tom-tom, getting like directions back. Yeah. So it's a bit. It needs review on that. The Beyond card. Leaves office. Keeps coming up, this. Keeps coming up. This is it's basically a tipping point we're getting towards now. And maybe we actually should do a reading on this at some point. Where this keeps coming out. And I keep sensing that I think the energy crisis, along with this, along with the gangs. Remember, it took 3 attempts to finally get, and remember, never forget, okay? Never forget that Stuttery Starmer, the whole sort of certain type of gangs, was far right bandwagon. Yeah? Far right bandwagon. The protests / riots, whichever side you're on that sort of thing, in 2004. God, it's 2004. Bloody hell. Remember, they were far right bigots. So the thing is, it's accumulating. And we have discussed this before, where we are energetically as a society, as a community, as a world. We've obviously got Pluto and Aquarius. I haven't said it for a while. You can't roll your eyes, okay? But for the next 20 odd years, it's all about going from what all these progressives love, centralized controls, big tech, big pharma, EU, UN, all that kind of stuff. And then coming back to the little guy, you and me, okay? So it's small governments, small businesses, small convenience stores. Instead of the big stores, it's the little guy, the farmers and all that kind of stuff. It's all coming back. And this whole situation here, especially in this reading, is the desperation of holding on to the reins. And I think this ties into here, where while I was pottering around making a coffee before sitting down and doing this reading, I kept getting this weird download nudge, where it was like, what are you holding on for? Was the actual kind of doobly-doo. And I reflected upon that, and it was like, well, why you clearly don't like being prime minister. Most of these people on the front benches and stuff clearly don't like what they're doing. Right? Before we get to skill set, before we get to ideology, they're clearly having a troubling, horrific time. And yet they're still fighting to stay where they are. Do you see what I mean? It's like, what sort of weird kind of shenanigans is going on there? And it's there. The red thread connects to that. Where one side, up here, are in the zone, are resonating, are doing their purpose, calling out all this shenanigans, calling out the hypocrisies and all that kind of stuff. And it's like starting to get to the point where they finally are, because they're so boneheaded. What are we doing this for? What are we actually fighting every day to do? Because we're not getting anywhere. We haven't actually achieved anything for 2 years now, almost, isn't it? Where's this going? And that's what's coming out here, especially with the winds of change. 2 of Cups, the negotiations. Oh, no, he's going to be out of the country. Oh, what a shame. Oh, someone else will have to do that. Some flunky will have to go and do that sort of shebang. Oh, how difficult. How awkward that may be. Scheduling conflict, I'm afraid. Oh, dear. Overarching energy, uprooted, yet again, keeps coming out. Pulled out, taken out. Okay? This I was going to say it was a weed, but it's not. It's a rose bush that looks like. For a second there, it looked like weed from, like, back in the day. My nan used to have kind of Watch with Mother or something on VHS or something. Like, it was in black and white. That's all I know. Muffin the Mule and that kind of stuff. So I know about that kind of thing. So it's like black and white, like Bill and Ben weed. It like that's what that looked like there for a second, and that's why I was going to like rip out the weed, but it looks more like a I'm distracted. Anyway, so overarching energy there, under like control puppet. Exactly. What are we doing this for? This goes back to we've got mouthpieces that know nothing. Just look at Lammy, for goodness sake, right? There is just no talent on that front bench at all, if you think about it, is there? There's half a talent on the Tory side, if you think about it. Is it Cleverly? Is it Cleverly or Cleverly? I can't remember. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. But he comes out with some saucy stuff, some good things, some good thoughts. And then all of a sudden, the last time I really heard anything from him was then he was basically slapped down because it was over the Tory councils wanting to prevent democracy from happening, if you remember. And he came out in the morning and went, this is not right and we should stop this and blah, blah, blah. And then Kemi went out in the afternoon and basically went, well, it's up to the councils. Oh, it's up to the councils because that's democracy. Well, it's clearly not democracy. That's a catch-22. I lost faith in Kemi at that point because it's like, love, you're doing so well. What you doing, love? People like you, and now you're just like, nah, when it gets difficult. Right. So he's going to try and get out of the country before, but the pressure's on. People are actually physically his face calling it out. The fact he's going everywhere. The amount of clips I've seen where he's out and about, surrounded by his security team and stuff like that, like going to the football on someone else's, money. I was going to say someone else's dime there, but we're British, for goodness sake. And all this kind of shebang. And everywhere he goes, he's just booed and criticised and stuff like that. Even ITV recently, I saw the news report. I didn't see the actual event. I had to apologise again for the World Darts they're broadcasting now. I don't watch live TV, I don't know. But supposedly it's on now, or recently, where they've had to come out and apologise yet again for the chance of a certain against a certain prime minister. It's like, huh? Get the hint, for goodness sake. I fear I've said too much. Right, cheers, my dears. There's not much coffee. I'm very disappointed in myself. Let's do the outcome. Because I'm just reflecting here as well. When we're doing the waffle, I'm really just, because we've got to try and be entertaining and have a bit of fun here at the Greatest Good Village. I'm just reviewing the cards if I missed anything, but I think we've covered it well. So, okay. So this Zar is shut down at the moment. But it's very strategic. I keep getting drawn back to the planned outcome here. This feels like as if the hippies are going to lose ground in some description. It's almost like, and obviously I'm not a lawyer, I'm not anything, right? Let's be honest. So, but it's almost like setting a precedent, which means that the planned outcome here erodes the position they're already in. And they're like, oh, aren't we great over here? So, let's have a butcher's at this. So, outcome to this reading, please. Outcome to this reading, please. I suspect the dog has just farted. I don't know. She is a couple of meters away from me, but I just got a sudden waft of something, and it's getting stronger as it maneuvers in my general vicinity. And oh God, what have you been eating, woman? Honestly, oh, it's ripe. Let's just put it that way. It's ripe. So I'm gonna hope. Oh God. Excuse me. I'm not being over dramatic. Shut up. Just be glad you can't scratch and sniff. Just be glad. I'm going to try and do the outcome here through watering eyes. Oh my God. She's such a lady, honestly. She's on her back. Nothing new. But I mean, she's on her back in her bed. Paws kind of like up like that, you know, doing a Wendy Williams kind of, how you doing? Kind of up in the air. And she just like peered round from her front paws, kind of like, what are you talking about, mate? Wait, I don't. Trying to look innocent, honestly, some people. Right. Let's do the outcome here. So, death, end, exactly. End. Full stop. Already I'm getting the hint of give it 6 months, they'll try and find another loophole, another way, another solution. They never get the never get the hint. It's remember these sorts of people on the progressive side, not left and right, remember progressive, this cult following. They're like tantruming toddlers. And they'll wait a minute and then they'll kick up a fuss again about the same thing, just in a slightly different way. But yeah, death card. End. Stop. Tied up. We've moved because of this, people calling out, this institutional, this collection of the experts in the field that like, about the actual state of affairs with the hangman down here, winds of change, poof, they're now tied up in all sorts of shenanigans. 6 of Pentacles on the Justice card. Chef kiss, mwah, greater good, give and take, back and forth, more balanced society. That we remember, there's a lot of remembering here. Take notes. Remember, the progressives have this weird hierarchy about who kind of outbalances who and what not, from their own actions, as an example, because it's now been, 9 months since Bridget Phillipson, she's been sitting on kind of women's rights and that kind of thing after the Supreme Court ruling, if you remember, the brave Scottish ladies that took them to court and won. So we know from their own actions, they may not say it out loud, but we know from their own actions that trans people are higher on the pecking order than women. Okay? I believe we are all equals. Okay? There is no hierarchy. True equality. Okay? If you're an adult, true equality. Kids, sit down, shut up, go to your room. It's like a bit of naughty step, that kind of thing. But if you're an adult, true equality, that's it. There is no hierarchy. There's no us better than someone else and all that kind of shebang. Equality. There we go. Balanced out. Oh, someone's just gone up the hill straight away without even blinking. Oh, it's just disappointing. So disappointing. I'm getting very disappointed. For the new boys and girls, we've got a hill, which is about, I should know the measurements for this. It's about 20 metres away, give or take. It's across a field, right? And if a truck or a lorry goes up it in a wrong way, they get stuck halfway up. Okay? It's completely safe. There's no ditches each side. They just get squeaky bum time, and then they reverse back, or they try and push up and all that kind of stuff. And it's hilarious to watch, okay? It's very simple and easy entertainment for me, right, basically. But I do now get disappointed when people just breeze up the hill in the lorryist garb. I'm very disappointed. I'm just like, how dare you? You're ruining my fun. And that is what just happened. But it balances out back to like equality, true equality. Mainstream news. Victory, success. There we go. End, tied up in knots, balancing out the situation. Victory, success. Health, nightmare. This is exposing even more shenanigans because they're tied up in knots. Now where do we go? What do we do? Like I said, it feels like a precedent over here. where if you're going to have one, you're going to have them all, or you don't have them at all, kind of Zar situation, okay? It's that kind of shebang. Moon, unclear. Just, wow. Wow. Enough said. I hate to say it. I don't. I never do. But, I mean, the fact that it's moved to the, and for the long-time viewers, you know, the central card of each layer, for me, is like the heart of that layer, that reading, yeah? The fact that it's moved to centre stage. They're crapping themselves with the nightmare of the nine of swords. Death to their situation, full stop. No, yeah, obviously there's going to be rebirth, reborn at some point because that's what they're like. But like end of a chapter, tied up in knots, absolute nightmare for Labour, Starmer, all that malarkey. Justice, slap bang in the centre, balancing out the situation, victory, success, planned outcome. Now where do we go? Now what? I like this. I like this. Remember, in the middle here is happy home, 1111, make a wish, with the Four of Wands. Notice how the Two of Wands is now looking. If you remember, I love when this happens. When I referred to as back in the day, Tom getting a direction back, suddenly we're plotting, planning, scheming with a little map in his hand, looking towards the four of where, you know, the green and pash like lands, going back to how things. My waffles do make sense sometimes, and it's a surprise to me, to be honest. I'm just following where I'm going, like being told to go, and I love it when it comes out like this. And it's just like, that's what I was talking about. Okay. The winds of change, holding on for dear life, security blanket, Four of Pentacles. Exactly. They don't want to let go. This is the thing, going back to the reins. They're holding on for what reason? What is their purpose? What is their reason? They hate their jobs. We can clearly see that. Anyone with the brain cell, you don't have to have like a certificate of going like psychology or whatever like that. You can just see it in their body language. You can see it in their stuff. Oh, they all stutter now. Have you noticed that as well? That's when you know they're BSing. Technical term, but that's when because they can't say a true answer. So it's like I spent 20 minutes trying to watch Rachel Reeves in Parliament talking about the oil crisis and stuff like that. Okay. And half of that must have been maybe she's doing Morse code. Maybe oil it's like, can someone tune in this radio a bit better, please? Can we just, it's like, yeah. We've got to find the funny side to everything, don't we? We've got to keep our vibes up, our energy up, that kind of thing, yeah? But they're holding on for dear life. Resigns, leaves office, inward fighting. Now that's the civil war of Labour. There we go. This is the actual civil war here. Commercial airline trying to get out the country to get away from it. Knight of Wands. Action, trying to do anything. Get any sort of win. That feels very dangerous to me, the Knight of Wands. Just to get a win. Overarching it, defending their ground. Yeah, underlying energy, burdened. Wow. Wow. I wanna push this further. Okay. I know. How long have we gone on for? Too long. I shouldn't have leant over there. There seems to be a wall of where Lady's perfume has oh, she does that innocent kind of looking round, paws up in the air like, how you doing? It's, yeah. Welcome to my world. Anyway, so before we get to the kipper that we normally do here, I just want to spur off here a little bit, okay? Because this for me is sexy. The Civil War leaves office, that kind of thing. Can we clarify the Five of Wands, this internal fighting, the Civil War of Labour, the leaves office, for the greatest good for all concerned. Just the dinky deck here. But this is palpable. This is why I'm digging in here, because this feels like it's a ticking time bomb. It's like it's heavy. It's like the energy there is like, oh, it's another technical term. Oh. So hope you're writing these down, honestly, for a glossary later on or something. Hangman, trapped again. 3 of Wands, how we're doing? Very badly, if in my humble opinion. 3 of Cups, it's this group. Sometimes, okay, 3 of Cups, if you're learning tarot, 3 of Cups could be a celebration, okay? It can be a community, a group of people, small group of people. That's what we've got here. If it's a relationship reading, that's the third wheel in some respects, okay? That kind of thing. But either way, it's this small group of people, basically the cabinet lot. Truth. Oh, Queen of Swords cuts stuff out. Can be a bit of a knee-jerk reactor. Cold, harsh, but honest, fair. Truth. Cutting stuff away, cutting stuff out. Overarching in it, quick movement. Lovers committing to what they're going to do. Where do we go? Right, we'll get rid of him, we'll get rid of her, we'll get rid of the, like, get rid. That's it. That's enough. Yeah. And the fact that, and I'll say this now, the fact that the people keep saying, oh, they're going to be even further left. Oh, they've got a more left, further left, this left, blah, blah, blah. One, okay, being left because it's all progressive, let's be honest, further progressive, extreme progressive, all that kind of stuff. So one, there'd be fools. Nothing new, I know, about all this, but there'll be fools to go left, because if they go left, notice that, what is it now, 200 polls, this country has, like, reform, yeah, right, percentages up, down, blah, 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 fine, but it's been 200 plus polls now, and this country is naturally, with a small c, conservative. They just want to get on with their lives. Yeah, they don't want all this kind of like kumbaya stuff, right? They just want to get on with their stuff. So if they went to an extreme to try and get rid of Dave the Titty Whisperer, not going to work. It's not going to work. I'm just telling you, it's the most stupid thing that they could possibly do at this point. But there you go. That's what you get with which is basically a dictatorship, isn't it? That's what you've got here with Labour, is a dictatorship. I've also been getting on Yaocho, but go and have a look if you haven't seen it, is how North Korea run their elections. They have elections. It's very odd. It's like, wow. They just keep popping up on my... I watched one. There's been like 3 or 4 of them, but I was just like, wow, that reminds me a lot of a certain group of people. You can vote as long as you vote the correct way, with the correct answers, the way we want you to vote. It's that kind of thing, like Labour and Lib Dems and the Progressive. We'll give you a voice and a referendum if you vote the right way. Anyway, Kipperdeck. So, but cutting out this small group of people, that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun to watch. Popcorn ready for that later on. Now, main mail. Okay, Starmer. Unexpected income. Pressure is on. This is the death over here. Okay, the income, notice it's the 6 of Pentacles up here, the give and take, the back and forth, the balancing out, all that kind of stuff. Unexpected. Didn't see it, like similar to the women's rights. Okay, this is the other thing that I know I've been talking. I know, but it's like all these big corporations have been hiring people in to do conferences and courses and stuff like that from places like Stonewall. I am shocked have not gone after them to sue them or whatnot. Because the Supreme Court ruling was remarkably clear. It's like they just very, very simply, not only did they say that like woman equal opportunities, blah, 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 in that respect, and what it said in the thing, that, but it also clearly said it has always been this. It has always been this. It's not changed. It's like you've said it's changed, or you've applied in different ways, like Stonewall, the courses and all that kind of stuff, doing them all into kind of institutions and NHS and all that kind of malarkey. You've always been wrong. Okay? That's what the ruling was. So there's a similar kind of ruling here that I keep getting with the Six of Pentacles and the unexpected, exactly the same picture. Yeah? It's one of those sweeping kind of, you've always been wrong. Not just now, but forever. You've always broken the law if you've been doing this. You've always... And why has no one sued people for this? Because it's like... put them back in their box. Concern. Yeah, we've got enough of that. We've got pathway. Oh, notice that's also on the... what's it called? It's a Beyond card. Soul, third eye, higher self, higher being, all in alignment, resonating, going in the right direction, doing the right thing, all that kind of stuff, doing God's work, as it were. Pathway needs to happen this way. It's almost like divinely guided. Star card. Yeah, North Star. Has to be the way. Put them back in their box. Wealthy man. This wealthy man here feels as if it's connected to kind of up here, this contingent, this group over here. It doesn't feel like it's... I'm getting, instead of, like, remember, wealth is not just money. I'm not getting money. I'm getting kind of values, worth, that kind of thing. Access to information and that kind of... It feels, I don't think it's mainstream media, but it's like planned outcome, justice up here, where they're making precedent. That's what this feels like. Overarching energy. How many times does it need to come up? How many? Underlying energy. Innocence. We didn't ask for this. We didn't consent to this. Okay? We're all innocent in this. This is ridiculous. And that's on all sides. Okay, that's all communities, all things. That's like everyone. We had nothing to do with anything. This is an ideology kind of cult kind of following. This is absurd. We're all innocent in this. Yeah. So, yeah, but the fact that the court and justice has come out, what, 3 times now? And I keep on saying, stuff like this is going to keep going, like the judicial reviews and stuff like that. This, for a bunch of lawyers, let's be honest, you would have thought they would have seen this coming. You would have thought they would have prepared themselves for this kind of shebang. So very, very clearly, just to tie it in a bow, and then we can go and make more coffee and stuff like that. Maybe I'm just telling you too much about what I'm going to do. But to go back to Janine, question about Starmer and this whole kind of Muslim Tzar thing, this is a can of worms that is going to end up the full-on Labour civil war. He's going to try and leave the country once again to get away from all this kind of stuff. While negotiations are going on, and like we discussed. But this is going to be massive. Okay? This is going to be massive. The fact that, like I say, we keep getting it now. Uprooted, taken out, burn out, public office, out of public office. Yeah? Keep getting it. Eventually, enough of this burden is going to go and it's just going to snap. So, thummy. Anyway, I'm going to leave this here for now. If you enjoyed it, please thummy like and hype if you get the opportunity. That genuinely helps out the channel. Thank you so much indeed. If you haven't already, subscribe, ding-a-ling the bell. Come and join the Greatest Good Village here on YouTube. If you enjoy what we do and you want to see more, that's available on Patreon now. Link down below. It's actually funny because we've recently obviously turned off the memberships here on YouTube and moved to Patreon so that we can have a bit more freedom of speech and that kind of stuff. Off a different platform type thing. All the graphs on YouTube right now, because we've deleted the membership videos over here and we've just moved them natively over there, all the graphs have gone panic mode on YouTube. It's like, well we've lost kind of 100 videos somewhere. We don't know where they've gone. All the lines have gone down. The amount of peer pressure that YouTube are now putting on my dashboard to go, you do know that you're still eligible to run memberships over here. You're still eligible that we can run this again. We could do this. Please come back. All that. It's amazing to watch. Just for me, entertain. I just thought I'd share it with you. But everything, all graphs are basically in the red. Kind of like huge lines down, craziness ensuing, panic stations, alarms going off as if it's on the Starship Enterprise, all of that, red alert. And I'm like, yeah, we know, we did that. We did that ourselves. We've done that. You don't need to keep panicking, YouTube. We know what we've done. We've moved the village across to Patreon. It's fine. We know. Shh. But yeah. So over there, very lovely. That's also resources available for your own spiritual growth and all that kind of stuff. A lot more things are going to be released once I get time to actually sit down in front of a bloody computer and start like designing things and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, enough said. Until next time, where we do this crazy shenanigans all over again. Take care. Look after yourself. Be well. And thank you for your company. I'll speak to you soon. See you later. Ta-ra.